Rudyard Kipling. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you.
It's like changed my life. I know it's like changed a lot of our lives.
But make allowance for their doubting too.
I have a new respect for, poetry and everything that comes with it. I mean, it's awesome, what it's done.
Don't give way to hating. And yet don't look too good nor talk too wise.
If you would have told me that poetry was going to have a big impact on my life 10 years ago, I would have said no way, but it definitely has.
You can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same.
The original goal was to try to turn a bunch of athletes, they're all athletic in their different ways, different sports, but to turn them into Renaissance men, make them more complete human beings. And now to learn all this poetry and to see the difference it's made in their life is one of the more important things I've accomplished in my whole life.
The boys didn't know what to expect when they were asked to become part of Mike's poetry club, and were later surprised to see how much the poems have made a difference in their lives.
Being mostly involved in sports my whole life and that stuff, never really memorizing poetry, I think, like all of us, I think we're kind of in shock. Just what is this poetry? I'm not doing that, But as Mike has taught us about it, and just we've gone through it all, I have a new respect for poetry and everything that comes with it. I mean, it's awesome, what it's done.
It was just crazy seeing it all come together because at first I kind of thought it would have been a joke, but it's actually become something serious.
I like memorizing a poem every once in a while and studying it, and it helps you in life. I mean, no matter who you are, poetry can always help you.
Some of the poems they discussed and recited included Stopping by Woods on a Stormy Evening by Robert Frost, In the Arena by Theodore Roosevelt, and Psalm of Life by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow.
Mike sent us a book right around Christmas time, and it was a poem by Robert Frost, and kind of the last few lines of the poem were, we have miles to go before we sleep, and I kind of took that with me into sports and used it after our football games when we'd start getting deeper and deeper into the playoffs, and it'd be the semifinal game, and we'd slip by or we'd get by pretty easily, and I'd just think back and be miles to go before we sleep.
But the one poem that has influenced all of their lives is If by Rudyard Kipling.
There was a time when I was waiting for my acceptance letter to come back from Virginia that I seriously didn't think that I was going to make it. And so I was looking at the poem and kind of reading over it, and I think one of the lines that really struck me was, if you can heap together all your winnings, then risk it all and turn to pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. So I was thinking that I'd worked really hard all over high school, and I really wanted to get in Virginia, and that was kind of my dream and goal. But I didn't want to let my dream be my master, and so I was just kind of bracing myself for the fact that if I didn't get in, it wasn't going to affect me.
If was pretty difficult. It's just hard to sit down and memorize it, but once you do, you're really happy you did it, and you can study it and apply it to your life.
The line that really stuck out to me was, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat both imposters just the same. So this was a disaster, and I just kind of I looked at the poem, and you just gotta it's part of life, and you just gotta deal with it.
Everything it talks about, you'll have your own story for it that each line will relate to. So you can when you're going through the poem, it kind of brings back memories, or maybe tribulations or triumph. I don't know.
One of its strongest points is just kind of dealing with failure and the hardships of life, and it kind of gives you that support and advice to deal with it in the right way.
The seniors are getting ready for the next chapter in their lives and going to college. Mike believes they still have a lot of ifs in their lives, and that the poetry will help them as much as it has helped him.
But as they go off to college, they're kind of on their own to a certain extent now. We give them roots and wings, and now they fly away, they're living their own lives, but someday they're going to be daddies, they're going to be fathers, and I hope they do something just like this.
I know it's changed a lot of our lives. Maybe not the hugest way, but it's definitely made an impact.
If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run, then yours is the earth and everything in it. And it was born, you'll be a man, my son.
I'm going to OU.
The University of Virginia.
OU's got an aviation program, and I got a pretty good scholarship there.
I'm going to play football at Rice University.
I'll be attending the University of Oklahoma.
I'm going to University of Oklahoma.
I'm going to OU.